Snapdragon's Q2D is getting better and better every year. This and one. Normal mobile phones are basically the same. Well, welcome to watch this AOBI video then. Today I will bring it to you as soon as possible. Jaw long this year. Updated latest. The processor? A chip test engineering machine? This old friend must already know. This also uses a purple one. And then there's a very big logo printed on the back. What is his official English name? It's a smile, Bailet Junwoo. Ah, the Chinese name is the 5th generation. Snapdragon 8 Extreme Edition follow-up? You see all the new ones with the Snapdragon flagship. Every flagship. Their performance foundation is already in this issue. Remember to like it 3 times in a row. Thank you very much. We blew the rod overnight and measured it for everyone. Okay, we've taken this one apart. Detailed measurement of his famous school curve. Year of the Waves card White Forest database arrives. In terms of price, this time Snapdragon 8 Alice. It uses the latest N3P process. The extra large box and the large box are brand new designs. Support MV9 command machine. Also added support for some technology. In terms of frequency, this time Qualcomm Yo kicked flat for a while. From the previous 3 to Gs. Pull it up to 6 Gs. The word Gao can be typed on the public screen. We put Apple and MediaTek the most. Take out the new generation and compare it. It can be seen that Qualcomm's high-quality products are really capable. The frequency of the big box has increased by 0.1 box cache aspect. Large and large boxes share 12 trillion LR cache separately. China's 24 dialects are relatively large and the SLC cache remains unchanged. Portalism 19 is a slap. We also tested Qualcomm this time. Alloy delay. The promotion delay is still excellent. The exit delay is equivalent to the previous generation. There is some reduction. Outbound migration for the load. Is there some improvement? What about the AJ and the TPU 840 frequency is 1.2 GHz? It's still a signature plus purchase. What about core scale? Through our tests, we found that the number of Alice is not. There are changes. It seems that this generation is mainly based on our J's 8 series has been further polished and tuned. TMM is also the J promoted by Qualcomm's official election. Nuo Independence Expressway. The memory is from the sun-dried 12 trillion. This time it was added directly to 18 trillion. His Qualcomm generation wants to be in GMM. Releasing effort. Let the GPU render consume. All those who enter Hangnang run in TM. The above can further reduce the DDR. Memory usage. Significant bandwidth savings. This will improve your game's energy efficiency performance. Memory and flash memory. Along Manit certificate, my highest support is to LT. Jitter YX. 10,667 trillion BPS. About 2FS.1 and ZUFS. This Corely we tested. The memory combination of 10,667 plus UFC for 0.1 is used. Listen to the answer and notice that we also tested it. The cache and memory latency of its oversized box. You can pause for a moment. How does this curve compare to the previous generation? Not much has changed. Proves its cache and memory specifications. Consistent with the previous generation. Okay, I'm sure you can't wait to see his sex. Can it be tested with energy efficiency? Since 9500 next door and this video. Test and make at the same time? This time relationship. There is no way to compare the two of them together. Because these two projects are parallel. Wait for the mass production of the ablation to come to our studio. We will do it with you in detail. The latest comparative analysis. Cut your phone very, very fast. Start directing the situation now. In terms of CPU, give the first class. The single and Snapdragon orders ran to 3,831 points. 18% improvement over the previous generation. It is the strongest single box in the Android camp. However, compared to Apple's A19 Pro, still need to keep working hard? Overall, 12,459? Directly surpasses Apple. And notice that the lead is not small. 15%. Compared with the previous generation of 8 Supreme Edition, it is an increase of 20%. Very strong indeed, of course, for mobile socks. The most important thing is to see his landing energy efficiency. A single box of random food, an oversized box with an energy efficiency of 4.6 G, a score of 3,831. The job number reaches 9.3 watts. Performance and job number have been improved by 20% compared to the previous generation. You can see the whole curve. A new generation of LV Plus purchase? On the energy efficiency of eating here. Still doing well. Everyone pay attention. Running the peak performance of the previous generation 8 Extreme Edition. This boundary number can be reduced by more than 30%. The word was never added. There is indeed something. Multiple results of 12,459. The job number is 19.9 watts. Although the job number here is indeed a bit high. But notice that this is the extreme scenario. And overall energy efficiency compared to the previous generation. The sea of ascension is still very obvious. Pay particular attention to his medium and high frequencies. Good peak performance of the previous generation Barrett. What about this generation of Barrett certificates? It only takes about 105,000. Its job numbers have dropped by about 40%. The improvement of low-quality products is not so big compared to the latest Apple H9 Pro. High-quality products should be so strong. The lower grade is a little bit worse. Overall, it's still relatively close. What about this picture? The peak of 3D Mark SL has reached 3,188 points. Job number is 116,000. Compared to the previous generation, the improvement is also very large. You can pay attention. Running the peak of generation 81. His job numbers have also dropped by about 3% this generation. It's this curve of the whole section. It has to be above 81. Compared to the A19 Pro, the whole is stronger, especially medium and high quality, but the lower the frequency, the smaller the advantage. And you'll notice that we're getting closer to the lower curve. We are no longer attached. Summarized into a table. If you are interested, you can pause the viewing. Let me interview with Camel V11. Breakthrough for 100,500,000. 3.8 kW2 is 8,492 points. JFX Mercedes-Benz Aztec leaping ran to 157 fs. We don't analyze more stop signs. How about this time? We also ran a special web testing tool. SPMIT 3.1A. The smiling mother of Bai ran directly to 49.8 points. More than 40% improvement over the previous generation. It is also better than the H9 Pro. What about this benchmark? Not just when we browse a web. Browsing the application developed by GHTM5? It also uses web performance. Okay, let's briefly summarize it. What about the CPU? According to our database 5.0 brand new model law. What about the performance of Snapdragon 8 ethyl bacteria? That's a 20% improvement over the previous generation. It surpasses Apple. What about efficiency? It depends on the 4-year period. Increased by about 15% to 30%. What about the GPU? Performance boosts streaming by 20%. The comprehensive improvement in energy efficiency is almost 20%. Qualcomm's current generation of CPS and GPS is considered. They went hand in hand. Landing game test. Is it still the latest model of Database 5.0? Covering multi-scene games and super high load. More. Let's take a scientific look at the performance of this machine. Hong Kong Boba King's glory. Also routinely emphasized. We open rooms to control the development of the game. Team battle to play Dragon Cave. Popular user scenarios. Save unified spectator files for playback. This operation pressure is relatively high. The power control is also more accurate. The engineering machine at noon on August 1st. It's no problem to run full. 119.7 pin percentage. This needle is 8,823 stitches. Let's take a look at his job number 3.9 watts. About 5,000 lower than previous generation processors. About 10% of the workforce. No, he didn't gain for peace. That's 119.5 tons. Driving. What about smoke bombs and other scenarios? It can also be stable and not true. The job number is 3.6 watts. Energy efficiency is also ahead of the previous generation of pure models. Open World Cup God. Our 5.0 model covers mixed loads, high-load sprint and high-load battle scenarios. Let's look directly at the performance of Xiaolongbait's government affairs. Not surprisingly, it is also full. But what about during testing? There are still a few more serious. So what about 1% Lusion's performance? Slightly inferior on this machine. The point is to look at its energy efficiency. The job number is for 0.7 watts. 0.7 watts lower than the previous generation. About 13% of the job numbers can be lower than the latest Apple. Even lower. Still very good. Finally, let's look at the database again. The ultra-high pressure scene of 5.0. 980p star iron golden hour. What is the ultimate performance of this generation of chips? This is the model that we had a generation ago. No one can hold it. The final month is 59.4 stitches. It's almost full. I think everyone can be awesome. Is it typed on the public screen? The last representative was better, only 48 stitches. And you pay attention to his job number. It's only 7.3 watts. Then the previous generation. Really run higher? And the job number is even lower. It seems that this generation is interested in ultra-high pressure scenarios. The energy efficiency of the game has been significantly improved. Baby sister summary. What do you think of the gaming performance of this generation of Snapdragon? Still pretty good. What about mainstream conventional game energy efficiency? There can be a 10% to 15% improvement. What about ultra-high pressure new iron? The improvement is relatively obvious. Of course, all of the above are just. What's the situation with this chip engineering grade? How about the follow-up mass production of seasonings? At that time, we will also be the first to. And here's what you see. Look at game strategy. There is also one with game metrics and daily experience. Are they related? That's the touch response time of 5.0 for our database. This is the fluency perception test. We are still using high precision degree connection device. Test the response time of this utility. For your reference, in terms of game response time, the king in the game for peace. His overall performance. It's okay, but compared to touch-optimized mass production machines of various brands, there is still a lot of room for optimization as a whole. By the way, I also want to listen to everyone's attention. It must also be related to the quality of the screen. The screen quality of the mass production machine is average. Are they all better? What about this engineering machine? Just look at the reference. On the daily display time? So let's look at clicks. Except for billably. Basically around 130 milliseconds. Show moderation. Sliding response time. It's also around 110 milliseconds. Is this still a faster project? And air outlet optimization and system? There is also a relatively large relationship. We're looking forward to it later. How can each mass production machine be optimized? At least, probably better than this engineering machine, right? Okay, this year's 5th generation Snapdragon 8 Extreme Edition. Full score for performance. If it is divided into 10 guys, can you score now? After adopting the resource architecture last year, this year, Snapdragon continues to improve. Then in terms of CPU, it also continues to improve. Especially his single and the performance is still quite fierce. Then what about the GPU upgrade? Not bad either. Looking forward to the follow-up production seasons. The performance of this game. Everyone remember to follow our Xiaobai review. Database is enough. Okay, if you like this video, did you a little help? Remember to give us a like below. It is our greatest support and affirmation. I'll follow you and I'll see you in the next video. See you. It shouldn't be your own. Because he is your temple of fire.